Hosni Mubarak has stepped down.
I, William Arthur Philip Louis.
Osama bin Laden is dead.
Muammar Gaddafi has been killed.
Gabby opened her eyes for the first time. Liftoff, the final liftoff of Atlantis. The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden.
I never thought I would see this day.
2 Black Hawk helicopters carried about 25 SEALs to the compound. Bin Laden was one of the last to die. Shot once in the head, once in the chest.
They should know killing that piece of crap was a job well done.
By nightfall, central Cairo looked like a war zone.
That's the front line right there. That's where the police lines are preventing people from getting to the center of town.
We don't want this country anymore. Go, leave out of Egypt.
It's 1:30 in the morning here in Cairo, and yet they're still out there. Thousands of protesters defying a curfew.
The end came in a terse 30-second statement.
President Mubarak had resigned.
The news, as you can see, now has crowds cheering wildly.
Today's celebration, celebration, celebration!
A major Allied attack on Libya's air defenses has begun.
The United States is prepared to act as part of an international coalition.
Muammar Gaddafi, the dictator of Libya, has been killed today.
This marks the end of a long and painful chapter for the people of Libya.
Representative Gabrielle Giffords was hosting a local town hall meeting when a gunman in the crowd started shooting. Congresswoman Giffords was shot once in the head.
I can tell you at the current time period, I'm very optimistic about recovery.
A few minutes after we left her room, Gabby opened her eyes for the first time. Gabby opened her eyes for the first time.
Doctors say Congresswoman Giffords' recovery is still nothing short of miraculous.
Throughout America, there isn't a name that stirs more love than the name of Congresswoman Gabby Giffords.
Today, I can report that, as promised, the rest of our troops in Iraq will come home by the end of the year.
For the first time in 8 years, 8 months, and 28 days, the U.S. has no troops fighting in Iraq tonight.
We remember the brave Americans who made the ultimate sacrifice for their country.
The last convoy out of Iraq rolled across the Kuwaiti border at 7:37 local time this morning.
On behalf of a grateful nation, I'm proud to finally say these 2 words: welcome home. Welcome home.
We're about to see something that none of us will ever see again.
2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
Right away with Lennon. Nothing like it in the world. There goes the Atlantis rising into space, and it is the last time that anyone will ever see that. April 8th, Congress narrowly avoided a government shutdown.
Tax hikes destroy jobs.
I cannot fathom how anyone thinks right now is a good time to raise taxes.
On July 31st, Congress caused a U.S. debt rating downgrade for the first time in history.
Today's 419-point drop is actually only the 4th biggest of the month.
People are nervous, uncomfortable, and I quite frankly think fed up.
The House today set the clock ticking toward that New Year's Day punch in the pocketbook.
The motion is adopted.
We are now officially in a stalemate.
Come back to Washington.
If you ever needed proof that the Congress is totally dysfunctional, you saw it today.
We have done our job. All we need now is to resolve our differences.
We have something to be proud of. We've got the answer.
answer is, we don't have leadership. If you want to become president of the United States, you got to let both people speak.
We should make English the official language.
The United States will be victorious in the war on terror.
You had your chance. Let me speak.
You're out of time. Forcing girls to take an inoculation.
Just because our economy is sick doesn't mean our values are sick.
I kind of feel like the pinata here.
My 999 plan is a bold solution.
I thought it was the price of a pizza when I first heard it. Commerce, education, what's the third one?
If you eliminate the Department of Energy...
Glad you remembered it.
I've had some time to think about it, sir.
Me too.
Rupert Murdoch called it the most humbling day of his life, and he said he was sorry, but it wasn't his fault when someone hit him with a cream pie.
I am on a drug. It's called Charlie Sheen.
Not anymore. Winning.
Arnold Schwarzenegger now admits to fathering a child with a longtime household staffer.
At long last today, a confession from Democratic Congressman Anthony Weiner of New York.
To be clear, the picture wasn't me, and I sent it. So today I'm announcing my resignation from Congress.
Jerry Sandusky is charged with abusing 8 boys over 15 years.
He who prays when a child is the worst type of person in the world.
More victims have come forward in the Penn State child sex abuse investigation. Head football coach Joe Paterno has been criticized for not telling the police.
Joe Paterno is no longer the head football coach. Effective immediately.
Dominique Strauss-Kahn faces 7 counts, including attempted rape, unlawful imprisonment, and sexual assault.
Prosecutors admitted his alleged victim had told a string of lies.
I understand that the circumstances surrounding this case have changed substantially.
State of Florida versus Casey Marie Anthony. As to the charge of first-degree murder, we, the jury, find the defendant not guilty.
Conrad Murray has been convicted of involuntary manslaughter for causing Michael Jackson's death. He now faces 4 years behind bars.
After nearly 4 years of imprisonment, American Amanda Knox won her freedom and vindication in Perugia, Italy.
Thank you to everyone who's believed in me. My family's the most important thing to me right now, and I just want to go be with them.
This was the moment that altered the course of Japanese history.
The monster quake, thought to be the largest in Japan's history, triggered a ferocious series of tsunamis. A fire at this large oil refinery was out of control.
A 6.0 aftershock as cleanup continues in the quake zone. The Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant was knocked out once again. Reactor 3 is spewing smoke.
Those who managed to survive are now terrified by the prospect of a radiation disaster.
In this part of Japan, there are not enough living to take care of the dead.
I'm looking at everything different. Coming from a better place in mind. I don't see black and white, 'cause I think different, just a little different.
American hikers who were held by Iran are back home now.
I, William Arthur Philip Louis, take the Catherine Elizabeth to my wedded wife. I happen to hold from this day forward.
We will be with you every step of the way.
Think I lost my way.
Until Joplin is restored, we're not going anywhere.
It's starting over every time that I return. Learning to walk again.
Where the Twin Towers once stood, there is now the National September 11th Memorial.
I pray that our Heavenly Father may assuage the anguish of your bereavement.
The ban on gays serving openly is over.
Derek Jeter hit number 3,000.